over there, move over here, and let's kind of move so we're in the first like 7 rows. Do you see how I'm doing air traffic controlling? Thank you so much. It kind of feels good to kind of get up and stretch and move. That's really awesome. For those of you just coming in, we're going to kind of switch over here to like the first 7 or 8 rows. Thanks, that's great. And I thank you for coming today. This is an important topic. And it is really my honor and privilege to introduce to you Whitney Douglas. You all know Whitney as she is working on her 3rd year here. She is our director of working with Title IX issues and working with to make sure that this place is equitable and safe and a good experience for each and every student. And there couldn't be a more important job. But I also know Whitney as a personal friend. And I am inspired by how much she loves God and the church and how much she cares for students. And that's really what it's all about. Because of Whitney, we do have a safer, better place here. And she's even willing to go out of her way and tell her own story and do other things that, because she cares for all of us. Okay, so thank you once again. I'd like for you to give Whitney your attention, and here we go. Give her a big hand.
Whitney Douglas, and I am the Director of Equity and Accountability here at Hesston College. And April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and so I'm going to be talking today a little bit about sexual assault and what the impact of that is, especially in the college environment, and also just talking about this month and the ways that we're going to do some different things as a campus community to raise awareness and help work against indeed sexualized violence in our community as much as we can. We have with us today Safe Hope. You probably saw their booth as they were walking in. Safe Hope is a victim advocacy organization that is in our region, and they're on our campus every week with available resources for you. I'm going to invite Heather up right now to share just a little bit about Safe Hope, what they do, and what they can offer you. They're an outside organization, and they partner with us, but they offer some resources that we cannot offer. So this is Heather and Ashley, who both work with Safe Hope, and Sherry is the advocate that is most often on our campus on Wednesdays. So.
Well, good morning, and thank you for letting me speak for just a couple minutes. Safe Hope is an organization that provides free, confidential, or survivor-led services for victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, mass violence, stalking, and we have advocates available 24/7. We have a helpline, which the phone numbers I believe you have available on campus, and we also have the cards with us. It's completely confidential and it's completely free. I just want to completely reiterate that. A lot of people think that somebody's going to find out if you're talking to our advocates. It is very confidential. My purpose for coming with Ashley today, she is actually going to be the one that you will see on campus on a weekly basis. She is our sexual assault advocate. If she is not here, it will be Sherry. But we are here to promote Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The color is teal, so I've worn teal. There's many others that have worn teal. We are taking the teal pinky promise to stand against sexual assault. And we have lots of supplies, lots of freebies that you can take with you when you leave today. I just think it's very important for everybody to know that our services are available in Harvey, McPherson, and Marion County. And reach out if somebody that you know may be a victim of domestic or sexual assault. First and foremost, believe them, listen to them. Encourage them to reach out for help. It's okay for them to speak up, but go at their pace and just be there and listen and believe them. Ashley, would you like to say anything?
I'm Ashley. I'm the Sexual Assault Program Coordinator. The person who is actually going to be on campus every week is Sherry. She's pretty tall, blue hair, couldn't miss her. We are located in the Student Life Center. We are here Wednesdays, 1 to 3 p.m. And as Heather had said, and I just want to stress, that we are confidential. So whatever you say to us, unless we have a written consent, we cannot talk to anyone about. So if you need somebody to chat with, just to tell us about your day or to actually tell us about something that has happened to you, we are there. Okay? All right. That's it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather and Sherry and Ashley, for all the work that they do here on our campus and in the region. They serve a lot more than just our campus, as well as a lot more than college campuses in our area. And at times it can feel like there is not very many people available and a part of the work, and so I'm really grateful for those folks who are engaged in that kind of work. This is really heavy and hard situations, and at times, if something like this happens to you, it can feel isolating, you can feel alone, and there can be a lot of fear and overwhelm, and Safe Hope is a really great resource to reach out to if you're in the aftermath of having experienced sexualized violence yourself in a way that you would like somebody to walk with you through process, whether that's you're going to seek process by reporting something to law enforcement or to the institution, or you're going to seek other sorts of support and healing for yourself aside from that. They're a great resource for you. I want to touch a little bit on the overall impact of sexualized violence for a college campus and for an individual experiencing that on a college campus, and also share with you a little bit about my own experience. And then we're going to move into activity together. So you've all been given red and green flags. Red means stop, green means go, and we are going to be thinking about what are the relationship red flags. These can be present in romantic relationships, but there are unhealthy relationships that can exist regardless of the foundation of that relationship. You can have an unhealthy relationship with your boss or your siblings or parents or classmates, teammates, lots of folks that can create unhealthy relationship patterns that drive your life in ways that feel like they're pushing you out of control instead of empowering you to live the life you want to live. A few statistics that I'd like to share with you are about just generalized sexualized assault situations on college campuses. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men from research studies suggest that that's the number of people that experience sexual assault during their time in college. 1 in 16 men that go to college will experience sexual assault, and 1 in 5 women will experience that at college. And then also that more than 90% of those who experience sexual assault at college anywhere in the United States will never report that. They'll experience the sexual assault, but they will never report that. I'm sorry, I'm getting dry mouth, and I left my water down here. You guys might be familiar with the term trauma, and trauma might be a word that gets thrown around a lot these days, and so we don't always give it the weight it deserves or always mean the same thing when we say it. But the psychological definition of trauma is a real or perceived threat to your life or a threat of sexual violence. And the impact that a real or perceived threat to your life, physical safety, or sexualized violence has on your brain is significant. The impact after a sexual assault will impact how you study and engage in the classroom. It'll impact your day-to-day interactions with peers and friends, your biological functioning, how well you're able to monitor your bodily needs and take care of those, are all directly impacted by the way your brain responds to the real or perceived threat. So it's possible that you were in a scenario and later you realized, oh, I'm safe, and I wasn't as unsafe as I thought I was. If your brain in that moment believed you were deeply unsafe, even if that wasn't in retrospect the real harm that was in your way, there is a possibility you still have an impact on your brain that doesn't care about knowing the truth days later, weeks later, about what was real in that moment. There is still other work needed to create safety so that your brain can operate and be in unity with your body and your systems. And the impact of sexual assault limits your access to education. And it limits your access to so much more than just education. But the whole reason Title IX exists is because it will inevitably, if you experience something like this in college, impact your education. And it can be a hard and heavy road, but the hope is that through seeking support, whether it's reporting in my office or going to a confidential resource like Safe Hope. We also have confidential resources available amongst our employee base. Our campus counselor, Jose Gloria, is in the back. He's one of our confidential resources. You all know him, and that you can speak with him with that same trust of confidentiality, that nothing you say to him goes elsewhere, as well as Nick Ladd and Michelle Hirschberger as our campus pastors hold that confidentiality role. And there's all sorts of resources outside of Hesston College where you can get those types of support as well. But finding someone you trust as a first step to acknowledge what your experience was and find a path forward can be incredibly important. And I personally am passionate about finding ways forward, and it can be just incredibly hard to do on a personal level. And so I am going to share with you something that I wrote. It's not really a secret in my life that I had experienced sexual assault when I was in college. It's something that I often mention when I do Title IX trainings and other things, but I haven't talked a lot about what the impact for me was in a personal way. And so today I'm just going to read to you a letter that I wrote, I think about 5 years after it happened, which was more than 10 years ago now. I never sent it, never intended to send it, to the person who sexually assaulted me when I was in college. And then I'll share with you a little bit about the importance of navigating this. But I just want to name that this topic is heavy. And if you need to excuse yourself physically or check out mentally, you're not offending me in any way. If this hits too close to home, you don't need to engage in the same way. And there are people available to talk with you about it. Said, gosh, it kills me to even write your name. On April 27th, 2009, you made a choice that took so many things from me. I often wonder if you even remember that night. I think it was just one of many nights for you. But for me, it has played in my head over and over and over again. That day you took my innocence. It wasn't yours to have. I wish I'd fought you more to keep it. I was broken and vulnerable and in shock. I couldn't believe this was happening, and I just desperately wanted it to be over. But I didn't know at the time that it wasn't going to be over when you were done. You didn't stop taking things from me. You took my social life that semester because I was too afraid to leave my dorm room. I couldn't stand the thought of seeing you on campus or any of your friends. I had no idea what you might have told them about me, and I was afraid other men might think they could get what they wanted from me too. You stole my passion for learning. I used to love school, and I enjoyed studying. And then you were in all of my ministry classes, and I couldn't function. I almost failed one of those classes. My GPA dropped dramatically, and I had to change my major because my GPA was so low. I lost a lot of respect for myself, and I stopped caring about my health. I'd been pretty healthy and active until then, and I just didn't matter anymore. I gained 70 pounds in the years that followed that night. You took my security. I spent so many nights worried. I had awful nightmares and woke up in panic and cold sweat night after night. I lost endless hours of sleep. I couldn't stand the fact that you were the last one to touch me. If I ever get married, I'll have a lot of work to do to have a healthy sex life. You took my faith in men. It's not that I think every man is going to assault me, but maybe every man is capable, and I have no real way of knowing if that's true or not. I can't be alone with a man besides my dad or brothers without feeling an overwhelming anxiety. Some of what you took, I can't ever get back, and I hate that. It's not fair. But there are some things I can get back, so I refuse to be a victim over and over again. I refuse to live in fear because of what you did. I am going to heal. I will trust people again. I will sleep at night. I will be healthy. I will regain faith in men. I will respect myself because I am worthy of that respect. And one day I'll go back to school and I'll love learning. And I will live my life. You don't define me and you can't control me. God has redeemed me and loves me, and love is healing me. If I did know that there was support for me to have a different college experience after that night, I'm not sure if I even knew there was support, but if I did, there was too much shame for me to even access that. And I don't want anyone else to unnecessarily walk in that darkness. Coming to talk to me or Save Hope or a counselor or a pastor is probably not going to change the fact that you'll have sleepless nights and that doing some of the basic things in life might be hard for a while or for a long while. But it matters deeply, deeply to not feel alone and to know that somebody cares, that somebody believes you, and that there's a path forward. And so I want you to know that from my own personal experience, if you come to talk to me, I care deeply about what happened to you and about the path forward for you. And I know that the path that got you there, to the point where you needed to sit in my office and share something really hard with me, is one you wish you didn't have to talk to me about at all. And so I hold it sacred that you trust me with any of it. And I imagine that others who sit across from folks struggling with those things have some similar feelings at times. And so I just want to invite you that you don't have to be alone. And you can share whatever and however much you want to share about experiences, whether your traumatic experience was about sexualized violence or not, whether it was about sexualized violence that happened on this campus or not. You could have experiences that long predate you getting here, but are showing up in your ability to function and engage in life here in ways that you want help with, and you deserve that. And we'd like to help you find a path forward. Raising awareness about sexualized violence and about healthy relationships is an incredibly important thing. Healthy relationships in all avenues. Our healthy relationships with our friends and mentors and coworkers and classmates help inform the type of relationships we get in that become the intimate and romantic relationships where even more vulnerable situations can occur. And if you put the effort into being a healthy person and understanding healthy relationship patterns and standing up for your right to have those in your relationships, it impacts in ways that ripple throughout your relationships and your relationships around you, and invites a healthier community. So I have Abby and Natalie, I think, are going to help with passing down some Sharpies. And I would like you to write a word or a phrase or whatever on your red flag and your green flag of a healthy relationship sign and an unhealthy relationship sign. Unhealthy relationships can have warning signs long before they get to someone actually experiencing violence and abuse. And so the red flag campaign which I have chosen to couple with a green flag campaign, is about drawing awareness to the types of things that people might not see, that manipulation and coercion, that violations of your privacy and breaking their word are signs early on that they aren't a safe person for you to be in relationship with. And so we can help each other by raising the red flags and the green flags to help us steer away from unhealthy relationship dynamics and towards healthy relationship dynamics. As you guys are leaving, there'll be a spot at the exits for you to drop those back off, and they will pop up around campus as a display this month. I also have a number of things I want to just tell you about very briefly. The end of the month, we're going to do a bit more stuff for an awareness week. I think I have a slide of the dates and stuff, but that's April 28th through May 2nd, the last week of the month-ish. And we will be having Unity Day on April 28th. Unity Day will not be looking only at sexualized violence. This is our second annual Unity Day, but Unity Day came out of the concerns around sexualized violence and how reports of that were handled on our campus. And the goal of Unity Day is that we find ways to come together as a campus around what unifies us, recognizing that unity is not uniformity, but celebrates our difference and invites everyone to participate in our community. And so we'll be exploring what unity is on Hesston's campus and ways that we can grow and improve in that area for different folks on campus. On the 29th, we are going to have a Take Back the Night event. The time of all of that stuff is forthcoming, and you'll get more information in the mail, but there will be an evening event as well as a display of an art project that you'll be invited to help with later in this month on that day. Wednesday, April 30th is Denim Day. Denim Day is in honor of a Supreme Court decision that happened in Italy, in the 90s, in which a woman was raped, and then her rape conviction was overturned by the Supreme Court because of the argument that her jeans were too tight. It wouldn't have been physically possible for her assailant to remove the jeans. Therefore, she must have been complicit in her own sexual assault, and the other evidence got thrown out for the jeans. And so in solidarity with a number of women who have experienced the impact of misconceptions around responsibility and what happens in those situations, we are inviting everyone to wear denim on March 30th. And we will wear teal on May 1st, breaking the silence for sexualized violence. You're also welcome to wear teal throughout the month, and you'll notice in the back as you leave, there's a number of teal stickers and things that are available at the Safe Hope booth to help with that. And Green Flag Day will be Friday, May 2nd. And so I invite you to consider showing your commitment to consensual, healthy relationships in all aspects by wearing green on Friday, May 2nd. And we'll send more information in emails and stuff about that as we get closer. If you have any questions or concerns, I'll be hanging around after, and my office is in Smith Center across the hall from the water fountains. And I always welcome people to pop in and chat. That is it for today. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Whitney, you have given us a great gift, the gift of you, authentically you. And there are words that cannot express my gratitude for that. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to close with prayer before we have our time of taking attendance. And I want to say this too. We at Hesston College believe that we're a we and not just an I. So we need to help each other. And maybe we need to help each other have the courage to talk to Whitney. And maybe we need each other to encourage each other to stand up when we hear a bad joke, or to say no when things that shouldn't be happening are happening. Let's help each other out of love. Please pray with me. Dear God, you love each and every one of us so much. And there is nothing that we can do, or nothing that has ever been done to us, that can make you stop that love. Nothing can ever separate us from your love. And we thank you for that. Lord, if trauma is keeping us from accepting your love and keeping us in bondage, we ask, God, Holy Spirit, that you would break through and you would set us free, that you would set all of us free, and that you would bring your healing on this campus. We pray these things in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you. All right, attendance.